So today I'm going to make my pumpkin poke cake. This is the same cake that I took over to Danny and Tina's house from Philip's Fam Bam. And of course, they loved it. So I need to get a few ingredients first. Just a few ingredients. You'll need your bowl, some cooking spray for your pan, oil, store-bought cake mix, and of course pumpkin. And one of the things I've added to my poke cake is pumpkin pie spice. Now, if this is something you'd like to know more about, I make my own. So I'd be willing to do that in a future video as well. And of course, some little tools. So just add the cake into the pan, the cake mix into the pan with the pumpkin. And I add 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. And then you're just pretty much mixing it up. It's going to be a little thick. And that's what I thin it out with, is a little bit of oil, maybe about a teaspoon, but not more than a tablespoon. But I'll let you know. You kind of have to figure it out as you're going along, but just enough to kind of smear it into the pan. Okay, so it'll look like this, a little lumpy. There's some little lumps in there, no big deal. I need to spray my pan really well, only because this is a poke cake, so the caramel will actually go through to the bottom and we don't want it to stick. While the cake is in the oven baking, I thought I could go ahead and get a head start on making the next part, which is the pumpkin pie spice mixed with the Cool Whip. Now this wasn't in the original recipe, but I thought it would be great to have it on top, and it really turned out nice. And this is the big container of Cool Whip, and I don't use it all, but it won't go to waste in our house because I was thinking tomorrow that I might make my family some pumpkin pancakes, and I know they'll like that. So it won't go to waste here. So when I did it the last time, I used 2 teaspoons, but I'm going to use 3 because I'm using the whole container. We use a lot of pumpkin pie spice over the next few months, and so that's why I learned how to do it myself and making it, because it can be kind of pricey. Also, it's super yummy and it complements a lot of stuff in the fall. We love our pumpkin chocolate chip muffins as a family, and pumpkin cakes and pumpkin pancakes. But funny part is we don't really like pumpkin pie. Is that anybody like that as well? We're not fans of huge pumpkin pie. We're not big pumpkin pie eaters. But we love everything with flour in it, apparently. So it's just pretty much mixing it up and getting it ready. When the cake comes out of the oven, make sure it comes to a complete cool. After it comes to a complete cool, we'll do the next step, and it's going to include caramel. Okay, so my house is smelling super good thanks to all that pumpkin yumminess. I've let my cake cool down, and you can see I'm just kind of going to town on all these holes. And I want to make sure there's tons of them. Sorry if my glass is rattling a little bit, but sometimes you could take out a little bit of that frustration out on this. You don't want to completely break it apart, but this little contraption, this little stick can help with that. Let me get a spoon. I have some leftover caramel, and I want to use it all. So I'm trying to get it all into the holes. And we want to get that into all of it. We want all that yumminess. And this is not enough for me. There's not an exact science to how much it needs or exactly a recipe. So you put as much as you'd like for your family. But it will moisten up the cake as it gets into the holes. And this is super good even the next day, as it's got as the caramel has set in a little bit more. And then the next part is the Cool Whip. As you can see, I'm not going to use it all, but that pumpkin spice added to the Cool Whip, it's going to give it a nice taste too. And then the last part I do to this as I put more caramel on top because can't have too much caramel on it. Okay, and I use my little stick in the bottom in the last parts too. Kind of to decorate. Tina thought that this was kind of the fancy part of this, which I just thought, I don't think it's that fancy. But I just kind of swirled it in. Because, you know, I have 4 boys and they really care about what this looks like before they eat it. They just think it's super good. You can see, and this is really good to take to like a party or to a family get together or just a Sunday night dinner with your own family. Easy to make. You just have to be a little bit patient because it takes time to cool down and it takes time to poke the holes or do all that stuff. But the best part is eating it. So I'll just cut out a little piece. I'm gonna let the rest cool down, but that way you can see it. You can see that the caramel's kind of gone through and delicious. So, if you like what you've seen, come back and see what I'll be rolling out next. Have a great day.